Hey YouTube, my name is Big Boys National TV, aka Wakanda's Next One, because I got playing around. As you can tell by the title of the thumbnail in the video, this is my WWE Raw review on highlights. So if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys please watch the entire video from all the way from the beginning or towards the end. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more wrestling content that I do on the channel, because I'm on the road to 11K before July. Go check out my WWE Clash and Italy review on highlights that I did on the channel yesterday. And follow all my social media down below in the description. Let's get started. Now, WWE Raw was a solid show for what it was, and I give it a 5 out of 10. It says we're live, and we are live. The show kicks off with a video recapping the event of Clash in Italy. Michael Cole and Corey Graves then great audience at home as we see Roman Reigns and the Usos pull up to the Napoli arena before making their way out of the ring. Alright, so we hear from Roman Reigns and the Usos. Alright, it says Roman Reigns demand that Turner acknowledge him, and Jey Uso points out that Jacob Fatu is already late. He demands that Jacob Fatu to come to the ring, and Jacob Fatu music hits, and he obliges and makes his way to the ring. Jey Uso tensely stared down Jacob Fatu, but Roman Reigns orders Jacob Fatu to look at him, and Jacob Fatu does as he told. Jacob Fatu says he knew what he was getting into with the tribal combat match against Clash in Italy last night, including the consequences and repercussions if he doesn't dethrone Roman Reigns as World Heavyweight Champion. He says he's been taking losses his whole life. Then says he lost last night in front of the world and his children, who saw their father be a man, take a loss and keep his word. Jacob Fatu says he lost to his tribal chief last night, but says he didn't lose to Jey and acknowledged Roman Reigns. He kneels down to Roman Reigns and bows his head to him, then exchanges his hands up to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns takes it and pulls Jacob Fatu up to his feet, but Roman Reigns tells Jacob Fatu that while he may not understand it right now, he still loves him. Jimmy Uso puts everyone in the back on notice and says they are the twos, and we the ones. He says Roman Reigns himself, Jimmy Uso, and Jacob Fatu are the ones before all four men hold up the one symbol. That was a pretty cool segment to kick off the show. Penta then makes his way to the ring. Oba Family, Solo Sikoa, Tyler Tonga, and Carmelo Hayes all follow. Alright, so we get the fatal four-way match. So we get Oba Family versus Solo Sikoa, accompanied by Tyler Tonga, versus Carmelo Hayes versus Penta in a first round fatal four-way match for the 2026 King of the Ring tournament. And I ain't gonna lie, this was a fun match, but I'm glad Oba Family won. Carmelo Hayes goes right after Oba Family, but Oba Family levels him with their right hand. He levels Penta with a shoulder tackle, and Solo Sikoa with a clothesline all as he's still making his entrance. The bell rings and Oba Family fires up uppercuts on Carmelo Hayes, Penta, and Solo Sikoa. He levels Solo Sikoa with a right hand before Carmelo Hayes delivers a fadeaway to Penta and pins him. Penta kicks out, but Oba Family sends Solo Sikoa crashing into one of the barricades and stares down Tyler Tonga on the outside. He then lands a double chokeslam on Carmelo Hayes and Penta inside the ring. Oba Family clothesline Solo Sikoa, crashing over the barricade with a clothesline and brawls with him through the crowd during the commercial break. He rains down right hands on Solo Sikoa on one of the staircases as Penta fires off a right hand on Carmelo Hayes. He then rocks Carmelo Hayes with a kick as Solo Sikoa sends Oba Family crashing into the ring steps, shoulder first on the outside after the pair have returned to ringside area. Solo Sikoa lands a hip attack on Penta in the corner, but Oba Family runs over Solo Sikoa with a clothesline and looks to land a double chokeslam on Carmelo Hayes and Penta. Solo Sikoa comes to Carmelo Hayes and Penta aids, and Carmelo Hayes and Penta sends Oba Family crashing into the ring post shoulder first. Sosako and Tala Tonga then sends Overfemi crashing into the ring post twice before Tala Tonga sends Overfemi crashing over the barricade with the big boot. Penta flies over to the top rope to level Sosako on the outside, and Carmelo Hayes falls by flying over the top rope to take down Penta. He dumps Penta back in the ring and extends to the top rope, then looks to fly. Penta moves out of the way, but Sosako doubles him with a clothesline. Penta delivers a Penta driver to Carmelo Hayes and pins him, but Carmelo Hayes kicks out. Overfemi recovers and sends Tala Tonga bouncing off the announcer desk spine first. He sends Sosako crashing into the mat spine first. He connects with a fall from grace on him and pins him for the win. The winner of the match, Overfemi. This was a good fatal 4-way match to kick off the show. Well, yeah, this was a good match, right? Good fatal 4-way match. After the match, Overfemi grabs a microphone and calls out Brock Lesnar. He says Brock Lesnar questions if he could take a beat down or taking 7 F5s. Then says Brock Lesnar may have taken his best shot, but he's still standing and he will be king of the ring. He tells Brock Lesnar that he'll see him down the lane. Alright, we hear from Saruka. Kathy Kelly introduced Saruka and she makes her way out. Kathy Kelly congratulates Saruka on becoming the Women's Intercontinental Championship and asks her if she thought she would be champion after only a month on Raw. And Saruka says it's a dream come true. She says she believes she could be a champion and the fans believe in her too. She then thanks the fans for their support and says, as tough as it was to dethrone Becky Lynch, her work is just getting started. She says the Women's Intercontinental Champion deserves a fighting champion, as do the fans. They then vows to retain her title against anyone who wishes to step up to her. We then head over to a video showing Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes having a brief stare down backstage after clashing Illy wrap up when they see Roman Reigns telling Jey Uso to win the 2026 Men's King of the Ring tournament, and Jimmy Uso looks to lead with his twin brother. Roman Reigns tells him to stay in case he needs him. Back at ringside, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee make their way out. Ethan Page and Rusev follows. Alright, so we get the next match. So we get Ethan Page and Rusev versus Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. This was a fun tag team match, but I did not like how WWE changed Ethan Page's theme song. Go back to I like Ethan Page's first theme song better than his new theme song. So WWE, please change Ethan Page's theme song right back, please. And that's all I gotta say. But this was a fun tag team match. Ethan Page and Dragon Lee begin the action. The bell rings and the two lock up. Rusev tags in and fires off stomps on Dragon Lee in the corner. Then jams his boot into Dragon Lee's head using the bottom ropes and tags out to Ethan Page. Dragon Lee sends Ethan Page crashing into the middle turnbuckle face first with the Hurricanrana and lands a kick on him from the ring apron. Then connects with a drop kick on Ethan Page and goes for a pin. Ethan Page kicks out and sends Dragon Lee crashing onto the ring apron during the commercial break. Then dumps him in the ring and pins him. Dragon Lee kicks out, but Rusev tags in and sends Dragon Lee crashing into the corner spine first. Rusev flies off shoulders on Dragon Lee's midsection, but Dragon Lee delivers a chop to Rusev and chinch and a bear hug on him. Ethan Page double teams on Dragon Lee with Rusev, but Dragon Lee lands a kick on Rusev and tags Rey Mysterio in. Ethan Page tags in on his side, but Rey Mysterio watches Ethan Page with a kick to his head from the apron and delivers a senton to him off the middle rope. Rey Mysterio and Rusev crashing out of the ring with a Hurricanrana. Then looks to dial it up for a 619. Ethan Page trips Rey Mysterio from the outside as Rey Mysterio runs the ropes, then chinches in a Boston Crab on Rey Mysterio. Dragon Lee breaks the hold and lands a dive on Rusev through the middle rope. to take him out, and then and the outside. Rey Mysterio delivers a shotgun drop kick to send Ethan Page crashing into the ropes and dials it up for a 619. Then connects with a frog splash on Ethan Page from the ring apron and pins him for the win. The winner of the match, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. This was a fun tag team match, what it was. We then head backstage where LA Knight yells at Adam Pearce as he vents his frustration with Roman Reigns and the Usos. Alright, let's move on. Io Scott then makes her way to the ring. Lash Legend, Julia, and Roxanne Perez all follow. Alright, so we get the next match. Io Scott versus Lash Legend versus Julia versus Roxanne Perez in the first round fatal 4-way match for the 2026 Queen of the Ring tournament. And this match right here, this was a fun match to watch. But this should have been Roxanne Perez winning, and that's all I gotta say. But I was so happy that Io Scott won. Alright, let's move on. The bell rings and Lash Legend scoops up Julia. Io Scott lands a drop kick on both women off the top rope, but Roxanne Perez blindsides Io Scott from behind. Julia wears down Lash Legend with a submission hold, but Lash Legend sends Julia on the top rope to escape. Io Scott goes after Lash Legend, but Lash Legend catches Io Scott and scoops up Roxanne Perez. Julia delivers a missile drop kick to all three women off the middle rope to take out all three women. During the commercial break, Roxanne Perez rocks Julia with a forearm. Julia responds with a chop to Roxanne Perez, and two women continue to exchange strikes with one another. Julia clinches in a submission hold on Roxanne Perez, but Io Scott clinches in a submission of her own on Julia. Lash Legend turns all three women around to lock in a Boston Crab on them, but Io Scott breaks free to break the hold. Lash Legend lands a standing splash on Io Scott and pins her, but Io Scott kicks out, and Lash Legend used the middle rope to continue wearing her down. Roxanne Perez lands an uppercut on Io Scott in the corner, back from the break, and extends to the middle rope. Then looks to fly. Io Scott intercepts Roxanne Perez with a shotgun drop kick, then lands a double bullet train on Roxanne Perez and Julia in the corner. Io Scott lands a double stomp on Lash Legend's midsection, but Julia catches Lash Legend with a running knee. She goes for a pin, but Roxanne Perez breaks the fall and lands a Russian leg sweep DDT combination on Io Scott and Julia. Io Scott sends Roxanne Perez crashing into the middle turnbuckle neck first, and it sends up the ropes. But Julia trips up Io Scott and rains down right hands on her in the corner. Lash Legend pulls Julia and Roxanne Perez on the ropes as they teeter on the ropes. But Io Scott then delivers a lash extension to Roxanne Perez. She follows it up with a second one to her and goes for a pin, but Io Scott lands a double stomp on Lash Legend's spine to break the fall. She then connects with a over the moonsault on Julia and pins her for the win. The winner of the match, Io Scott. This was a well-deserved win for Io Scott, but some people say this should have been Lash Legend winner, but that's just not the case. But Io Scott wants some more, and she pulls out the win. This was a good fatal 4-way. This was a good match. This was a good match for what it was. But Io Scott got the win. Anyway, let me continue. We then head backstage where Kathy Kelly asked Bayley and Lyra Carey what would happen if they cross paths in the 2026 Queen of the Ring tournament. While the pair insists that they'll be friendly, Lyra Carey catches Saruka to secure a Women's Intercontinental Championship for herself. She becomes excited and levels, but Bayley appears to be a little ambitious. Back at ringside, where Seth Rollins makes his way out, Braun Breaker and Paul Heyman follows. Alright, so we get the main event of the evening. So we get the archetypes. So we get the visionary and revolutionary Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. Now this match right here, I can't even lie. This match right here, this was a pretty good main event match. What it was. The bell rings and Braun Breaker fires off shoulders on Seth Rollins' midsections. Seth Rollins rains down right hands on Braun Breaker, but Braun Breaker catches Seth Rollins with a German suplex. Seth Rollins catches Braun Breaker with a pair of suicide dives through the middle rope. The two men return to the ring during the commercial break, and Braun Breaker sends Seth Rollins crashing into the corner chest first. He levels Seth Rollins with a back elbow and connects with a standing moonsault, then goes for a pin, but Seth Rollins kicks out. Seth Rollins fires off right hands and left hands on Braun Breaker back from the break, but Braun Breaker catches him with a German suplex and sends Seth Rollins' head repeatedly bouncing off the Italian announcer desk on the outside. Braun Breaker dumps Seth Rollins back in the ring, but Seth Rollins lands a reverse DDT on Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker sits Seth Rollins on the top rope and delivers a Frankensteiner to Seth Rollins off the middle rope and goes for a pin. Seth Rollins kicks out, but Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins levels one another with a clothesline off the ring apron and the Italian announcer desk, respectively, back on the outside. During another commercial break, Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins fires off right hands on one another. Seth Rollins pulls Braun Breaker off the ropes and lands a sit-out powerbomb on him. Then goes for a pin, but Seth Rollins kicks out. Braun Breaker ascends to the top rope, but Seth Rollins meets him up there and lands a superplex on him. Seth Rollins connects with a Falcon Arrow on Braun Breaker and pins him, but Braun Breaker kicks out and looks to land a spear on Seth Rollins to send him crashing through the English announcer desk on Seth Rollins off the Italian announcer desk. Seth Rollins sees Braun Breaker coming and lands a pedigree on him, then dumps him back in the ring and lands a second pedigree on him. He goes for the pin, but Braun Breaker kicks out. Austin Theory runs out to the ring, but Seth Rollins quickly takes him down and fires off stomps on Braun Breaker's neck. Paul Heyman up on the apron and distracts the referee, opening the door for Austin Theory to hit Seth Rollins with one of the World Tag Team Championship belts. Montez Ford runs out to the ring and flies over the ring post to level. Austin Theory on the outside, but Braun Breaker catches Montez Ford with a spear and delivers a second one to Seth Rollins. In the ring. He goes for a pin, but Seth Rollins kicks out. Alright. Braun Breaker runs the ropes looking for a spear on Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins catches Braun Breaker with a curb stomp and pins him. Paul Heyman puts Braun Breaker's foot on the bottom rope to break the fall. Now Paul Heyman should have been banned from ringside for doing that. But anyway, that didn't happen. But let me continue. But Seth Rollins slides out of the ring and stares down Paul Heyman on the outside. Braun Breaker runs around the ring and looks for a spear. Looks to spear Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins ducks out of the ring and accidentally spears Paul Heyman through one of the barricades near the Timekeeper's era. Seth Rollins grabs one of the World Tag Team Champion belts in the midst of the chaos, and Braun Breaker looks to land a spear on Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins holds the World Tag Team Champion's belt up to his midsection, and in order for Braun Breaker to spear it, then connects with the curb stomp on him for the win. The winner of the match, Seth Rollins. This was a pretty good main event match. What it was. And that's all I have to say. But WWE Raw goes off the air. But let me address the elephant in the room. In my honest opinion, now WWE Raw was a solid show for what it was, and I give the show a 5 out of 10. But Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio has never done nothing since Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan has never done nothing ever since in this company. But Liv Morgan now I'm gonna say this: Liv Morgan has not did nothing ever since she won the Women's World Championship at WrestleMania. Liv Morgan has never done nothing with that title, and she has nobody to feud against. Have her feud against Becky Lynch or Bayley, or when Naomi and when Stephanie McCure and Naomi comes back. Now you know Stephanie McCure wants to get back on Liv Morgan, so that's all I gotta say. But did you see the look on Roxanne Perez's face when she lost and she was backstage? I can smell something that I sense something that Roxanne Perez is going to turn on Liv Morgan, because the Judgment Day is not going to last long. It's not going to last forever. I'm so sick and tired of the Judgment Day, and I know I'm not the only person. So I know that everybody in the comment section is sick and tired of the Judgment Day, because ever since Dominic Mysterio retained the AAA Mega Champion on Raw, Dominic Mysterio has never done nothing with the AAA Mega Championship to begin with. That title should have stayed on AAA, but it is what it is. But that's all I have to say. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just putting out the truth that Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio has never done anything. That Dominic Mysterio and Liv Morgan has never done nothing in this company since. And that's all I gotta say. They're booking Liv Morgan terrible, and that's all I gotta say. And that's nothing but facts by itself. But I want to see who advanced to the King of the Ring tournament for the men's and women's. Like I said, man, whoever wins Queen of the Ring tournament will receive a title shot, same as the King of the Ring tournament, same as the men's division. But it is what it is. But anyway, I'm about to edit this video. I'm about to get up out of here. But thank you guys so much for coming out to my stream while I was playing Fortnite. And that's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. But like I said, T-Minus Kings is gonna take 4-0. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, like I said, T-Minus Kings is gonna be 4-0. You know what I'm saying? Get them brooms out, cause T-Minus Kings is about to sweep Team Foundation, and that's all I gotta say from here. But anyway, I want you guys to have a great day. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Too sweet. I'm out of here, gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet, gang. And I will see you guys tomorrow for my WWE NXT review and highlights. So that's all I gotta say from here. But I still will be going. I will go live tomorrow for Invincible Versus on Twitch. So I'm going to go live on Twitch for Invincible Versus tomorrow, and that's all I gotta say from here. But anyway, I want you guys to have a great day. Stay safe and always stay positive. And I'll see you guys on my upcoming world premiere for my WWE Raw review and highlights at around 5:00 a.m. right here on my YouTube channel. I want you guys to have a great day. Stay safe and always stay positive. Kept your crew, kept your kings, kept your club. Blue Squad, too sweet. I'm out of here. Gang. Mwah. Bang. Too sweet. Gang.